We're back, guys. Hello. Guess what? Only a week has gone by, and guess what? It's a new episode. Justin Timberlake reaches plea deal in DWI arrest. Ugh. He was high as fuck. He was drunk. He said he had one drink, but his eyes were like bloodshot.
Yeah.
He was
and
fucking
glassy.
high. Yeah.
Oh well.
Hey, Justin, I get it, bro. But, like, these people have so much money, they shouldn't be driving.
You're not above the law. This is gonna ruin the tour.
Did he say that?
Yes. He said it to the cop, and the cop, of course, was like 25.
Oh, he didn't know who he was,
Like,
right?
What tour?
Who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
He was probably trying, you're going to ruin the tour. Look. He's like, I don't know you, bro.
Exactly.
I don't know you.
Oh, my mom probably likes you.
Oh, you're a part of that band In Sync? Yeah, I'm Justin Timberlake. I don't know you.
Like, who?
He's like, I'm Branch.
I told you every time, like, that them kids, you say a name of somebody you think they should know, and they're like, who's that? And you're like,
Crickets.
What did you say?
How dare you? So, I like to play instrumental music when I'm subbing, because I feel like it calms the beasts.
Yeah, I play it too in class.
So for fifth period, I think I was playing instrumental hip hop.
Instrumental hip hop or like lo-fi?
It was instrumental 90s hip hop. So it was
okay.
just, it was the beats. So.
But it was songs you recognized.
Oh yeah. Okay. But the thing was, it was from where they sampled it from. Like, I can't think of the song, but it's like.
Is it Bobby Brown?
No, I feel like it's like an Isley Brothers song that's been sampled. Like, Ice Cube may have sampled it. Like, Today Was a Good Day. But it's Something in the Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of that stuff. And I was vibing to it, and the kids seemed to be chill. And then last period, I just did, like, instrumental. And someone was like, who's playing the piano? I was like, me, I'm playing the piano. Do your fucking work. Shut up.
It was me.
It's me, I'm playing the piano. And then some kids thought it was funny because I was like this. You know? All that stuff. But,
Miss, you funny.
Miss. And I'm like, bro,
Where's my Google?
can I go to the bathroom? I was like, you have 5 minutes or you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
One kid was like, can I go to the bathroom? I was like, your boy's out. He should be back in a minute. He was like, on the real, he's out meeting up with somebody. But I really gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like, if you come right back, I'll let you go to the bathroom. And he's like, okay, but don't tell him I told you.
If you come right back, I'll let you go. So you're basically saying you're trying to predict the future that he'll come back, like soon.
He did. He came back like in 2 minutes because he truly had to go to the bathroom and came right back to class.
Why do they fuck? So this kid, last week I was subbing for world history. This kid asked me to go to the bathroom.
You to go to the bathroom.
Asked me, yeah.
If he could go to the
bathroom. That teacher only lets one person go at a time. One pass is available to go anywhere. They don't even have the office pass because you're supposed to. There's a white pass for the office, blue pass for bathroom. Well, hers is a different color. She had the bathroom pass, and so people were going back and forth, and so this kid went to the bathroom, and another girl had to go, and she was like, I was like, when he comes back, you can go. And she was like, well, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I was like, it's that kid that sits right there, like this one seat in front of you. I don't know who that is. I'm like, okay, well, when he comes back, you can go. She comes back to me like 20 minutes later. She's like, oh, he's been gone since. And I looked and I was like, how the hell you gonna take the damn bathroom pass for 20 minutes? There's other people in this class and they're probably gonna have to go to the bathroom. Like, these kids
don't care.
So fucking
I write down their names and I write down the time. So I say you have 5 minutes. And I'll be devil's advocate. Once that 15-minute mark rolls by, I T30 them. And I write their name down because I'd be like, what's your name? You have 5 minutes. And I stare deep into their soul.
Yeah, they they implemented a sign out sheet. So there's a sign out sheet they have to sign out. And they're supposed to sign back in, but most of them don't.
Because they think they're slick.
They just come back and put the pass back and go to their seats. They don't actually sign in. But like, that's how I knew it was, she knew it was 20 minutes because she looked at the time that he went. And I was like, other people have to go to the bathroom. Like, stop being a dick. And your teacher only lets one person go.
Yeah. I let one male, one female go. Because I don't know what you're doing over there, but she's got to go. I don't know what he's doing over there, but...
Yeah, and with girls, I'm like, we have our periods and shit. So I'm like...
We got business to handle.
Go, yeah. And like, these boys are so... Like, what are you doing? Why is it taking you 20 minutes? Are you shitting? Do you have diarrhea?
They're not shitting. They're farting around. They're meeting up with someone. They're smoking dope in the bathrooms. That's what they're doing. Did you watch any of the debate last night?
I did not. I was doing homework. So I have not been watching TV at all for the last 2 weeks, except for maybe on a weekend if I can get away with it. That if I've done everything already, then yes.
I felt like I got a lot of notifications that the debate was going to be on. And so we had soccer practice. Coach Daddy was out on the soccer field yesterday. He has signed up to coach, and he was out there going through fundamental stuff that I'm just like, hey guys, we're gonna try this. But he's a very good coach. So anyway, yay, bitching helps, guys. But anyway, we got home at 6-ish, a little after 6, and I was like, oh, let me turn on the debate. And Jamal was actually doing his homework, and I'm trying to list. I'm trying to all the lies, I
did, of course, Instagram. So this morning I caught the clip about eating dogs and cats.
That's so stupid. He's
what?
So stupid. But before that, he was Kamala was dropping bombs on him, and he was shaking his head agreeing, you're right. And she's like, you've been convicted of all this stuff. It's not, oh, you guys let all these illegals in and let all these criminals in. Guess who's shooting up schools? Yeah. White Americans. Yeah. Sorry, right? Yeah. Stop it right now. Guess what? You want to deport millions of quote unquote illegal aliens? Who's gonna fucking work? You don't want to do it.
Nope.
Fred don't want to do it because he thinks he's above it. Guess who's working and paying taxes? Illegal aliens. Idiot. It's just this country was built on immigrants.
Here's the thing.
But, the skin tone.
He does not care. He doesn't actually care. His constituency cares because they want somebody. Okay. Let's. No,
100%.
Political. But his constituency.
The people who follow him
are uneducated.
Word.
European
descendants
of people who came over here and stole some land, but they're poor. And so people who are poorer than them are the people that they want to blame that they're poor. You know what I'm saying? They're taking our jobs. No, they're not.
Fred is sitting on the couch collecting his pension, collecting his unemployment, collecting his disability. Fred ain't working. You know who is working? Hector up the street.
And that's why he says, I love uneducated people because they're the ones that believe his bullshit and his rhetoric.
Exactly.
And the ones that are educated
see through the bullshit.
Well, the ones that follow him that are educated.
No, it makes no sense.
They have ulterior motives as well.
Tax cuts, right? Tax cuts.
Yeah. They don't want, and the thing is, the wealthy they don't want to pay taxes, but we pay just about as much taxes as they do. Why do we have to pay freaking as much as the billionaire down the street, the billionaire in the next state, because you don't want to pay your fair share? Why are you a money hoarder? Money hoarders need to have, I'm about to go there. Money hoarders need to have half their money taken from them and given to the poor. How about that?
Brandi, they're going to stop listening. Don't stop listening. Money hoarders.
Are our listeners money hoarders?
I don't think our listeners are money hoarders.
Elon Musk, are you listening?
But if you are, check us out on Patreon.
Jeff Bezos, are you listening?
Patreon.com/Book of Lies podcast. We've got different tiers, and we've actually had some people sign up. There's free attributes of Patreon. And we have quite a few subscribers there, so every now and then I drop a few gems in there and give them access to things. So thanks for joining us. But if you are a money hoarder and want a nice place for your money, go ahead and join us on Patreon. We donated to the... What'd you donate to?
Kamala, the blue... What's it called? Go Blue or something?
Go Blue. We did donate some of our income to the Fighting the Good Fight for... the Harris Waltz campaign.
Yes.
So, if you can't do it, we'll do it for you.
Not giving them any money. Give it to her.
Guess what? We already did. I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's Bolt Bitches.
Hello, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. We know you have lots of options, and we appreciate you for tapping into this one. If you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe. Come back. Get notified when we have new episodes. You can connect with us on social. You can meet us on Twitter/X at Book of Lies Pod. On Instagram. We join threads. We're on the threads at Book of Lies Podcast. And on Facebook, Book of Lies Podcast. Any updates from last week? Daddy's coaching soccer, so I'll let you know how that goes. I got my open house this Sunday at the probate listing. We'll see how that goes. My client whose house, Nancy's house, who I'm supposed to list like any day now, there was a leak in her place, ripped up all the floors in the front bedroom. It looks like a shit show.
Oh, no.
And the person that she has repairing her home
is a friend of hers.
He's slow AF, and he's the hoarder who I have the listing for in Lancaster.
Oh, shit.
Girl, it's a mess.
Did you know they know each other? Or did she?
Yeah, she referred me to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, wow.
I know small world, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got to go by there on Friday and just snap some pictures. I was going to pay my photographer, but they're not going to be done. So I'm just like, let me just come out and take some pictures so I could start promoting your home and get it sold.
Armstrong was asking, he was like, your sister's doing real estate? I was like, yeah. He was like, I was thinking about doing real estate, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you, okay.
Do you want to buy something?
Like, why are you talking to me about?
Do you want to use my services? What?
Okay.
I get lots of referrals, though. Like, people reach out to me. Someone called me today. At least once a month, I have someone refer someone to me that needs a rental. And I'm just like, blink, 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 blink.
Can't you, like, make that like a side hustle or something? Like the rental thing, or no? Like, do you have to do, like, some additional something or other? Or like,
how can I make it a side hustle? Please explain.
Like, because aren't there people that just do rentals?
Mm-hmm. Who I end up referring them to. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So can't you just, like, include that in your service?
I don't get paid for it. Like, I don't get paid for this. So the thing is, like, hey, oh, yeah, I can refer you, but give me this money. No. Or
No, not refer.
If I knew, like, owners who own homes, which I do. I know some people who just have a bunch of rentals. They don't have any availability right now. And then you have to beg them to pay you. You're like, okay, so they're going to sign a lease for a year, and it's, let's say, $2,700 a month. You know, I want 10% or pay me, or, you know, I'm suggesting you pay me 10% of the value of this contract.
Oh, that's how it works? So you don't actually have, like, a rental agreement with them, not a rental agreement, but like an agreement for them to
with the
get a renter for them, you know, do that whole
bullshit. You have to, that's what I'm saying, I have to, like, get them to, like, get on board with that.
Oh, okay.
To like pay me to find them someone to. So
yeah, because like if
it's 32, like if 2,700 times 12, it's 32,400. If I divide that by 10%, I should have gotten a check for $3,240 if they would agree to pay me 10%. If I get this locked in, sure, okay, we'll find you a renter. You know, great. So more than likely, I'd collect, like, the first month and a little bit of money, right? But you got to get these people to sign up with you and pay. There's probably some property management aspects, like collecting the rent.
Right. That's what I was thinking, like, because, you know, they use realtors as their property managers.
Yeah, exactly. I could and this chick, I've sent, like, 4 people to her, and I was like, bitch, give me a job or something, like, run me some bread. And, like, every time I send her someone, she's like, we owe you one. I'm like, no shit. So I'm just hoping all these good deeds I'm putting out into the universe come back to me. Karma. But it's just me connecting people, and I don't mind doing that. Like, I got a call today. This lady's living in an Airbnb. She sold her home a few months ago. It's been in an Airbnb. Thought she was going to have an apartment Apparently her credit is shit. It's like in the 400s, she said.
Oh, shit.
And
my credit
she
was
doesn't have a
awful.
job. She gets survivor's benefits, so her budget is $2,700. And so there's nothing I can do for her. Like, her credit shit, she doesn't want to buy a house. I was like, do you want to buy a mobile home? She's like, I don't have the money for it. But me, I'm like, you sold your house, and you said you were in your house for 10 years. So where's the equity? Where's the money? What'd you do? Exactly. So I can't help you. So I connected her with my girl. I called my girl. I talked to her, and then I passed the lead on to her.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
And then they're like, oh, don't worry, they'll remember you next time. They'll come back to you next time. If they can't buy a house, like, I mean, if you want to think of me in a year or two because I assisted you, cool. I hope that works. But I need more active business.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got here, but that's what's going on. What's going on with you? How was your week?
I've just been doing homework. It took me forever to do an assignment. I fucking hate doing presentations and creating slideshows.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hate it. And then
with a passion.
I fucking hate it. Like, I used a template and everything. Like, everything was pretty. I just had to
plug and play.
Put the notes in and do the the text on the slides. Mm-hmm. But then I had to record it with voice. Actually, I did it on Canvas, so it was my little face talking. And
you're so cute.
It was a 16-minute fucking presentation based on the history and evolution of education in the United States.
And it hasn't evolved, has it?
It has, but not over the last. Well, no, that's not true. But some modalities are still need work. Over the last like 20 years or so, it's getting, and it depends on where you are, like, what kind of community you're in, mm-hmm. the kind of people that you have in your district, because there's people that want you to stand up and lecture to their kids, and there's other people that want their kids to have more hands-on, So it just depends. And then, the type of school that you're in, like our school is doing, well, I don't know. I was looking for some information on certain things that they should be doing and they're not. So I was just like, okay, so we don't do that here. Okay, we need to talk about that. So yeah, but it was cool. It took forever to do that fucking thing, and because I had to do the research. And then I had to do the slides. The research is what took forever.
Of course.
And then the slides took all day. Like, the research took a few days. The slides took all day. It was due at midnight on Sunday. I got it posted, I think, at like 8 p.m. on Sunday. And I had, started working on, putting the slides together, finishing those at 9 a.m. So it took forever. And then I had to do the recording, and that took a minute because then the fucking thing kept saying some of the images didn't want to upload, or some aspect didn't fucking match with Canva because I did it in Canva. And I was like, I just wanted to throw my computer and just go to sleep.
Well, at least you got paid yesterday.
No?
Girl. No? What?
I mean, I had only worked 5 days.
What? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Because the pay period ends on the 20th. So that school has started on the 14th.
No.
So I got paid for 5 days of work.
I bet you was pissed.
I knew it was going to be that, but I feel like they didn't also include that damn training day. And I was supposed to get paid for the training. So I'm like, why didn't I get, I haven't received my check stub yet. Because that's going to come in the mail. Oh, so no. I'm just like, I got a whole 5 days worth of money to last me for a month.
I don't get paid for a month as well, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
great. Sorry. Wonderful. Anyway.
Change.
I did start watching KAOS because I watch it before I go to bed.
I started watching that too.
And that's pretty funny.
Jeff Goldblum as Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the line? Here, there's the line.
Yeah.
It's right there. Brandi, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about an episode of Worst Roommate Ever.
Worst neighbor. I'll talk to you about. Remember when I used to live on Firebush? Oh my gosh, that was before we even did podcasts. Yeah, that guy Will used to live on the other side of me, and our houses were so close together, and they would party.
I was like, they used to have parties or something.
Party all fucking night, and I was just like, and it really started to bug. We lived in that house for 2 years, and it really started to bug when I was pregnant with Brindley. And I was just like, oh, hell no. So they really encouraged us to buy a home because I was like, I can't have this with my baby trying to sleep. And I would have to text him like, hey, can you turn it down? Like, you guys are fucking loud. Our walls are vibrating from the music.
Oh my God.
It was stupid. But I'm sorry.
What kind of music was it?
I don't remember. Just trash.
It wasn't like heavy metal, was it?
I don't think so.
Okay. At least it wasn't like,
It was like
oh, EDM. Gross.
God. That's why the windows were vibrating.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Like, take y'all asses home. You guys are like fucking getting on my nerves.
So anyway, we're talking about Scott Pettigrew on I think it was episode 2.
It was
episode 2 of Worst Roommate Ever. I actually took my notes. I watched the episode again today, but while I didn't have any students and did notes. So Netflix gave me all the information. Netflix, thanks Netflix.
Thanks, Nettie.
So Anita Cohen was an old lady in her 60s. What was she, like 66 or something like that? I don't remember what exactly her age was. And she needed a tenant to make some extra money because she owned a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Palm Springs, specifically in Cathedral City. And she put an ad on Craigslist, and apparently she had gone through, roommates, had multiple types of roommates because
you know how Craigslist goes? Like, it's such a fucking, like,
shit show.
It's the Wild West
and,
out there.
mostly, like, I'm not finding because I don't go on Craigslist anymore. But, since like 2011, Craigslist has been like a bunch of fucking scammers, right? Mm-hmm. So this guy, Scott Pettigrew, but see, with Craigslist, okay, so
but the funny thing is, okay, go ahead.
Let's finish. So she had her own business, and she ended up having to close her business, and then she went to work at Walgreens, where she met Scott Pettigrew, who was her coworker. Apparently they liked each other. They hung out. They were, friends, right? Mm-hmm. But before she met Scott Pettigrew, she had a roommate named Daryl. Daryl moved into her house in 2014. He was going through a divorce, and he said his credit was bad because of the divorce. And so he had been living like in not too optimal circumstances, and he answered her ad on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. She did not do a credit check because she wasn't doing credit checks or background checks on the people.
She was just cashing the check. Okay.
Yeah, she was like, give me your money. I'll give you the keys. And voila, we live together now. Well, Daryl,
we go together now,
was a successful roommate because he moved in with her on March 2014, and he lived with her for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. And this guy is interesting. He looks kind of like Moby.
He does.
Yeah, he looks kind of like Moby, but he likes to play with like knives and shit. He was like, doing the butterfly knife tricks and stuff, and I was just like, okay, like, and the daughter-in-law was like, oh yeah, he had some odd habits or whatever. But he kept to himself. Like, he minded his business. He didn't fuck with people. He didn't bother anybody.
And he kind of helped her out when she had sketch balls in the house.
Yeah, he would help remove bad roommates. And he had 2 cats. So March 2014 is when he moved in. And then 2 years later, Scott Pettigrew moves in. Now, this guy's supposed to be a lawyer, right? He's saying he's a lawyer. He's telling people that he's a lawyer. Why are you working at Walgreens?
That part.
I understand, like, yeah, I quit being a lawyer, and now I work at Walgreens because it makes me happy. And, I'm doing that also because I'm 75 and I just want to keep busy.
Now she's 75?
No, an ex-attorney working at Walgreens.
Oh, okay.
But this guy is just working at Walgreens. That's his only source of income is Walgreens, right? And so he's telling people, the lawyer, he's a gay man with 2 little dogs. And he starts to get kind of creepy as soon as he moves in. So he and Daryl, first, when Daryl meets him, Daryl's like, oh, cool, this guy's a successful or seemingly successful attorney. He's got his shit together. Things are going to be great. We don't have to worry about, how are we going to pay this bill or worry about badass fucking tenants, roommates moving in because now we've got this stable guy.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
But he immediately starts being a fucking weirdo. Scott does to Daryl. So Daryl says that he'd be asleep and Scott would open his door and close it real quick. And Daryl would come out and be like, what the fuck? Like, hey, can you knock? And Scott would be like, oh, I was just trying to see if you were here.
So you could do something creepy in here, you creep?
Right.
Creep show?
Or he would come in, and knock something down and then run out real quick before Daryl could even figure out, like, what the fuck just happened. Like, a dickhead. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you doing that? He'd fuck with the cats, slamming doors and scare them. And then they'd freak out. And, of course, Daryl's like, hey, dude, can you, like, not do that to my cats? Mm-hmm. Like, why are you being an asshole to my cats? And shit started escalating. Scott was just doing, like, a bunch of weird shit. He told Anita that Daryl hid a camera in the bathroom inside of a flashlight.
Yeah.
And that he was filming him naked. Like, what the fuck, dude?
You're filming me naked,
Everybody's
bro.
not a creep like you.
You're filming me naked. Oh, where? How? Show me the videos. Where's the proof?
Like there apparently was, the 2 holes. Probably the loopholes that, that you put the wrist strap, telling her that, oh, these 2 holes are a camera and a microphone. And he's recording me in the bathroom. You know what, dude?
And then he would take stuff, right? Mm-hmm. He would. Oh, you're gonna go there. Sorry.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that part yet.
Sorry.
But yeah, so like he convinced her about that. Then he started doing stuff like little weird klepto shit. He removed the shower head from the shower.
Fucking weirdo, man.
And was stealing light bulbs out of the light fixtures and blaming it on Daryl. And I don't even understand how you do this, but taking the toilet cleanser tablets out of the toilet, the little blue tablets,
what is he doing with them? Putting them in a bag, or like, it makes no sense.
It makes no. Why you have to? I mean, he has the shower head, so obviously he's probably screwing it back in every time he wants to take a shower. But why would you take the shower head of all things to make shit uncomfortable for your roommate? Because they shared the bathroom. Anita had her own bathroom. Right. Daryl, Anita would confront Daryl, and Scott would be like watching over her shoulder and laughing and shit. Like,
gotcha, bitch. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
What are you doing, man? So yeah, he was fucking with Daryl, and then one day or 1 week he defiled the bathtub with puke and poop. Like, why would you shit in the toilet? I mean, shit in the bathtub and vomit in the bathtub and blame it on me. And he said this happened for 3 days in a row. He did this. And, of course, Anita was like, why would you do this, Daryl? Why would you do this to me?
First of all, we ain't had no problems like this before this cat moved in.
Right?
Have we ever had any problems like this before he moved in? No. Why would you think all of a sudden when this Scott moves in the house that my behavior just, does a 180?
Right. And we've had other roommates and it wasn't happening
no
with them.
Problems.
So, like, obviously somebody is the fucking,
perpetrator.
The new situation.
The
here is
new
Scott.
Girl.
Yeah.
No, but
what has changed? Scott.
But again, like you said, Anita was like BFFs with Scott. They worked together. And when you got a new BFF, you listen to whatever the fuck they say for some reason. I don't know.
Who does?
I don't know. Some people.
I mean, he lives with her, so I guess. But yeah, it's weird. Like, Scott's taking stuff. Scott took the shower head. Scott took the
Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl, sorry. Like, that's weird. I'm surprised he wasn't taking the toilet paper, to be honest, because, you know, that's, like, one thing that people do take is toilet paper.
Well, 2020 has taught us that.
Yeah, this was 2016, so. Yeah, so he's basically, you know, being a dick. And then they start locking Daryl out. So Daryl, you know, goes to work, comes back, and the fucking door is locked with a fucking chain. How are you chaining the doors? First of all, in California, that is illegal. You cannot lock somebody out of their house, especially if you have a rental agreement with that person. You cannot change the locks on them.
They live there.
It's illegal. And so if you want to evict somebody, there is a due process that you have to go through as a property owner, or a person who's renting to someone. So Daryl calls the police and he's like, hey man, they locked me out. They've chained the door. And he calls the police come. And so fucking Scott's being weird and saying all kinds of weird stuff. So Daryl decides to record him because, you know, he's like, they're lying to the police. Or he's lying to the police. So he starts recording them and he shows Scott that he's recording him. And then Scott starts saying shit like, well, yeah, that's why you've been watching me in the bathroom, recording me. And you're on probation. You're a criminal.
I know.
You have a probation officer. I'm an attorney. I know all the lawyers. I went to law school with all of these people. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, fuck off.
Dude, fuck off.
Fuck right off. So yeah, he does that after Daryl gets back in the house. So in March of 2016, Daryl's like, I'm going out of town with some friends. So he goes out of town for a few days with some friends, comes back, and the same shit. The door's fucking locked. He calls the police. Police are like, you wait right there. We're gonna come and get you.
You wait right there.
You wait right fucking there.
Got something for your ass.
So they come and they do what's illegal. If they're arresting you, they have to tell you what you are being charged with. They cannot just take you.
You know what you did.
It is unlawful detainment. You need to tell me why you're arresting me, dirty ass, crooked ass cops.
Dang.
I'm just saying, you cannot do that. It's illegal. And I will press charges against the police department. But the police, they just take him. They don't tell him why. They don't say what he asks them, what are you arresting me for? And they're like, you know what you did.
You know what you did.
No, I didn't do anything. What are you arresting me for? Especially if you didn't do nothing. Like, what? So they're like, you know what you did. They take him, and the public defender, like, it takes the public defender to come in to tell him what he's being charged with, which was senior abuse and damage of property, is what he said. There might have been other accusations, but
one was like trespassing.
Trespassing? You can't be arrested for trespassing, can you?
Well, along with
criminal trespass.
Along with senior abuse.
Senior abuse, yeah. So yeah, Scott and Anita claimed that he had threatened them and chased them into a room in the house, and that he had pushed Anita down in the backyard. And first of all, did you read the thing? It said that she was running from him and that he pushed her. I'm like, I don't think you could outrun him. Like,
He's like, first of all, I just got here. I've been on vacation, dicks.
Exactly. Like, when did this happen? So he gets fucking arrested. They keep him in jail. They set bail at $150,000, which of course he doesn't have. This man has been going through a divorce. He's, fallen on hard times.
He don't got Jerry's mama to bail him out, unfortunately.
Jerry. Oh.
His bail was $150,000 too.
And he's, possibly facing 2.5 years in prison for some shit that they're lying about and saying that he did. When his ass was, like, in Vegas or wherever he was. Like, what?
They lied. Yep.
So, of course, we have to find out what happened before all this, right? So, we go back to 2012.
Go before 2012.
We'll go way before 2012, back to 1990. When Scotty Boy was with his boyfriend, Rob.
Boyfriend.
They were a couple for 12 years. Like, I can't imagine putting up with that guy for 12 years. But apparently he wasn't like that before, like when they met and got together. So Rob says they were a couple, blah, blah, blah. They were both, young. They were just getting their stuff together. So Rob pursued some education somewhere, doing something, and Scott decided he was going to go to law school. Scott left, went to law school, and came back as a totally different person. Apparently he had alcohol issues, and Rob was finding prescription pill bottles all over the place. And he was emaciated, and he did not look like the same person. So he was probably taking Adderall to study to pass his classes.
Oh.
Or, and drinking, maybe to go to sleep. Who knows? Who knows why? I'm just surmising.
Throwing out options.
I'm surmising because why would you come back emaciated? Like, when you're a student, you get fat.
Not if you're not eating, but if you're partying, you're not eating, you're staying up all night, you're drinking, you're popping pills.
I've noticed that I've been snacking a lot while I'm trying to do homework and study and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm eating too much right now. Let me stop. Let me put away the chips. Let me put away the cookies. I need to get off my ass.
I want more cookies.
From this book.
I want to party.
From this
writing.
writing.
I want. Me, now,
Right.
now.
But who knows? Well, I don't know how old he was in 1990, but I guess, he had to be in his 20s because he was going to law school.
Right, and that's post grad stuff.
Or late 20s, mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he came back emaciated, and Rob was finding vodka bottles and pill bottles
In the closet.
all over the place.
I'm not ashamed of I've actually been quite sad that I haven't had a drink since Saturday. I'm just
Since Saturday.
Yeah. Well, and then
Today's Wednesday.
I'm not saying that I used to drink every day, but I'm saying that I could have a glass of wine or a cocktail to top the night off. And I'm not ashamed of that, but unless you are ashamed of who you become or what you do.
If he's downing... Okay, so he said that he downed a bottle of tequila.
To kill you.
Right, so he apparently took a bottle of tequila. Well, before this, Rob says he paid for Scott to take the bar exams twice. Mm-hmm. But never came out with hey, did you pass? Did you not pass? Well, apparently the first time he didn't pass, right? But he said there was never any proof that he actually took the test.
He probably took the money to go buy some liquor. Schlitz malt liquor.
Yeah, so you're paying for me to take a test and I'm not taking the test. What the fuck? So yeah, who knows what happened to that. Rob drank a bottle of tequila and he said he would either drink till he passed the fuck out or drink until he blacked out. Where he would get violent. So at one point he drank a bottle of tequila, got fucking crazy, and grabbed a knife and chased Rob down the street with the knife. And he said he was throwing shit in his path like trash cans. I'm imagining it's fucking Mario Brothers. He's just jumping over. He said he was just jumping over them like they were hurdles.
Okay, so he's jumping over things like Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm. They broke up in 2002. Guess he was I've had enough of this. It's enough of this shit. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say how long, how long it took for him to be over that bullshit, but
right.
Hopefully it was pretty fucking quick because what?
I mean, they were together for 12 years.
12 years. That's a long time. Yeah, and then, how long were they together before
this behavior started?
Yeah.
And it
was after he came back from law school. So yeah, how long were they together before law school?
Right.
So yeah, 2002, they broke up. Cut to 2012, they were in San Diego. Rob and Scott were in San Diego. Mm-hmm. So now 2012,
10 years later,
Scott is in New York.
Studying for the bar exam.
That's what he says, right? Studying for the bar. He answers a Craigslist ad from a girl named Julie Russell. And his message is like, oh, hey, did it say his age? I don't know. Well, I'm studying for the bar exams. You know, there's these pictures of me and my family. I have 2 dogs and blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm pretty easy to get along with. La, 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 la.
Blah. Lies.
And Julie's like, I trust a dog person over any other kind of person because she has a dog as well. She says Scott was charming and funny. And actually, Rob said the same thing. He was charming and funny. And apparently, Nita thought he was charming and funny, too, because she was, like, fast friends with him and moved him into her house. So, yeah, he's a charming and funny dude. He's a fucking sociopath. Charming and funny. But he was also kind of gross. He moved in, and after a month, he just started, like, being a fucking weirdo again. He let his dogs shit and piss all over the place. And there was a third roommate that lived there that did not have pets. And so Julie was like, his dogs she said they were having accidents. Those weren't accidents. His dogs were not trained. Let's be serious. Or if they were trained, he wasn't taking them out.
He wasn't letting them out.
And they're in New York. So it's not like they have a backyard.
You gotta walk the fucking
They're in
dog.
an apartment. Yeah, they're in an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. They're on the ground floor. It's a brownstone. And so, yeah, you need to take your dog out, or dogs out, regularly. Well, he wasn't, and the dogs were pissing and shitting everywhere. And he was saying that the third roommate, was leaving the back door unlocked. Julie never said, I came home and the door was unlocked. She said she started getting concerned because the third roommate was leaving the door unlocked. But then you look at the email, and it's from Scott basically accusing the third roommate of leaving the door unlocked. Putting my life and my dog's lives in jeopardy. You are on notice. This is what the email said.
He turned into a keyboard gangsta.
He stops paying rent. This is after a month. This is ridiculous. So basically you're telling me he gave you the first month's rent or whatever the rent was required that you asked him for.
To move in.
Yeah. Didn't pay his part of the bills. So he wasn't paying rent, didn't pay his part of the bills, and he was, of course, eating up their food. He ate their roommate's birthday cake. Like, what
Who does that?
Dick does that?
And this is the thing. Like, when you let somebody into your home, you're fucked. Like, it could be a roommate. It could be a friend. It could be anybody. Once you allow them to move in and, like, take up residency in your home, get mail, whatever, it's problems.
I don't know what the tenants law is like in New York, and especially at that time. But yeah, in California, it's pretty much that. That's why people have trouble getting Airbnb guests out of their houses.
Oh God. Yeah. Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, the squatters' laws in California are kind of cuckoo. Like, it's bananas. You have to fight, and this sometimes takes years to get people out of your house. And these people are fucking your shit up, and you have no recourse. It's crazy. So yeah, he ate the cake, and he started making threatening, sending her threatening voicemails and text messages and shit, and then calling her fat and, like, saying all kinds of horrible shit to her. Like, what the I'm gonna tell the landlord that you're renting and you've got 3 people in a 2-bedroom apartment and blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker, you live here too. Guess what happens if I get kicked out? You get kicked out.
We all fucked.
So, she said one day she went to her liquor cabinet and everything was gone. All the bottles were empty.
I've been pissed. Especially if I needed a drink.
That day, right? After dealing with him?
That's so fucking rude, though. Like,
yeah.
It's so disrespectful.
It's crazy. Like, why? Why? What is wrong with your brain that you think that this is okay? Like, what are you going to do? Like, if I move out as the landlord or the person you're renting from, if I'm like, you know what, I can't take this, and I decide I'm not even going to deal with this fucker, I'm just going to go. Then what are you going to do, dude? Because when the landlord comes and looks for me, I already told him I'm out.
I noped out of there.
What you're doing, that's on you after that.
It's quite problematic.
So.
It's like, you know how some people, just want to make everything terrible for you.
But
and
why?
make you suffer.
Why?
Just
like
because they know nothing better except to just make someone else suffer with them. I don't know.
Like you moved in, you pretended to be this nice guy. Mm-hmm. You know.
That's what employees do. Once they make it past their probationary period, then their real face shows up. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They get that act right for 3 months, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm coming to work on time. Oh yeah, I'm a team player." Once you get locked in, they're like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, apparently federal employees are like that, like because they have a 1-year probation.
Damn.
So but see, the thing I learned about federal employees is that they watch the other federal employees, and all of them don't give a shit because once they're there, you can't get rid of them unless they want to leave. So,
unless they do something illegal, though.
Right, but they're not going to do anything illegal. But like, they don't do their job. They take long lunches. They fucking like call out days in a row on time, and like not when they don't have the time off.
It's not just federal employees. There's a lot of staff in schools that do this.
Union workers do it too.
They do.
Yeah, people who are in unions and people who are, in places in the type of jobs where it's hard to get rid of them. Because I remember there was a hospital employee when I worked at AV Hospital. She this woman. She was a Scot, but of the workplace.
Damn. Scott of the workplace.
Yeah, she would like fuck with people at work and like threaten them and be like, well, my husband is this and I know this guy. I know the mayor and I know everybody knows the fucking mayor. Who cares? And she would just like make threats at her coworkers, and they would make complaints. She had like 20 years of complaints against her.
Oh, this is someone you really knew working at the hospital. Yeah.
Yes. They finally got rid of her. When they transferred her position, made her take a different position, and they got rid of her. But yes, girl, I was like, why is she still here? And they were like, because we can't get rid of her because they're the union.
Probably
the union,
and they're probably not documenting it well enough. But the thing is, like, the unions were started to protect the employees from like
abuses by their employers.
Like terrible work environments, like not being paid fairly and things like that. Not so you can fucking get away with bullshit.
Oh, but girl, yeah, because there are employers that are like, yeah, the union will protect me. I'll keep my job. That's why there's so many bad cops that still have a job because of the fucking union. And that's the truth.
Yeah, wasn't that like, I feel like it was some guy who killed someone, like maybe hit somebody or something like that, and they have him on like tape saying, "Oh well, like they'll take care of me" or something like
yeah, that happened last year?
I think so.
Yeah, he hit he hit a I don't know if it was a homeless person, but yeah, I remember like he hit a woman or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, that's why we have a union.
All right, getting this roommate out of your house in New York.
Yeah, so apparently she finally was like, yeah, no. Like, she complained to her employer that she was afraid that he was going to do something to her dogs. And then she finally went to the landlord and was like, so, we need to get the locks changed. And so they finally got that done, and he wasn't able to, get back in, because apparently in New York you could do that.
Okay.
You can't do that here, but you could do it in New York.
Okay.
And so, come to find out, his ass was like slowly throwing his shit out the window, like removing his items, like he was just gonna bounce and not say shit.
He was planning his great escape.
Yeah, he was leaving the window open and leaving and coming, back and forth without them knowing. Because apparently, you know by your behaviors that they're gonna kick you the fuck out. You
know that you're a monster. You know you're not paying rent. You know you're a nuisance. Guess what? Your days are numbered here, motherfucker.
And how many times have you done this before?
How many times have you done this
between 2002 and 2012? How many times? They're rid of him, they don't have to like take any measures to get rid of him. He got rid of himself for them.
And what was in his room?
Oh gosh, she said it was a mess. There was dog food all over the floor and used condoms. Like, as a dude, as a gay dude, I'd expect for another gay dude to be like a little bit neat. And you have dog food and used condoms all over the floor or all over your room. I'm not going to come to your room. Like, I would leave. And if they're coming in through the window,
Ew.
like, how do, you know, like, she never said he had guests.
That was not mentioned.
So, your dudes are coming through, he was probably hiring hookers.
Ooh.
I just thought about that. He was probably hiring,
companions.
yes, thank you. I was going to say men of the night.
Nightmen.
Nightmen. Yeah, he was probably hiring hustlers, as they call them. Because I can't imagine that somebody would willingly come through a window. If we met at a club and you're like, hey, come through this window. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You're going to murder me. I'm leaving.
I got to get the fuck up out of here. There's condoms, dog food,
I wouldn't
food
even
wrappers.
get to the I'd be like, this is your entrance, the window? No, thank you. Bye-bye. So yeah, they didn't have to like get to the point where they had to call the popos or anything to get rid of him. He makes his way back to California and starts working at a Walgreens in 2016. Well, I don't know if he started working there in 2016, but he probably did. And meanwhile, Daryl's still in jail. Daryl went to jail in March of 2016. Soon as Daryl goes to jail, Scott starts fucking with Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
I think his plan obviously was to get Daryl out of the house.
Yeah.
To separate Anita.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like how, like, people in relationships who want to separate you from your family and your support system.
And Anita's son and her daughter-in-law live in San Diego. So they're like 3 hours away from Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And so, you know, but I don't, so he wanted to get rid of Daryl, right? Probably because Daryl would have kicked his ass maybe, or, you know, might have been a physical altercation with the way that he started treating Anita, because Daryl said that he doesn't like seeing old people or elderly people being disrespected. Like, he said he respects the elderly. And like the previous roommates, when they would try to get disrespectful, he would like step in.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know how much he knew about Daryl in that capacity, but, you know, this is another male, so potentially maybe he could kick my ass. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm going to get him out of here, and I'm going to make her do it.
Yeah. And it's like, as a man.
And he plays with knives.
Yeah, but as a man, it's like, okay, like, I've got this senior woman I'm living in the home with. I could do whatever I want when it's just her and I.
Yeah.
Or like this guy who, like, you know, the other roommate in 2012 who was a woman, like, oh, let me live with some women and maybe I could get away with some shit. Do you know? Like, just...
So Anita soon realizes that putting Daryl in jail was not a good idea, that she fucked up, she made a mistake, and she tells her son and her daughter-in-law, like, so Scott and I cooked up this story about, you know, Daryl fucking with me, and we put him in jail. And they're like, you did what? All right, cool. Go down there, tell him that you're a liar, and make it right, or we won't talk to you ever again.
That's what you call perjury, guys.
She's like, go tell them you perjured yourself. So Anita does. She's like, okay, yeah. She goes to the court and she's like, yeah, I lied. I made up a story. Falsifying a police report is a fucking crime.
And
she didn't get arrested.
Making it like a false statement like it's
false. Yeah, it's false. It's falsifying a police report.
Right. Okay. Lying to the police. Right. Falsifying police. Same thing. Right.
Yeah. So making false statements. Yes. Why did not she go to jail? She would have been safer there.
Why did not she go to jail?
I mean, you know, like, it's a crime.
Take me to jail!
I wonder if she explained, well, you know, I thought he was doing all of these things to me, so this is why I did, like, you know, they don't say if she explained why she did that, but I would have been like, that's not the way to do it, ma'am. First of all. Second of all, Now you see you have this fucking dude in your house doing shit. So he was eating her food, letting the dogs piss and shit everywhere.
Dookie everywhere.
He fucking changed. He took the lock off the back door. They said French doors to the pool, to the backyard. Took the fucking deadbolt off the door, so she couldn't like.
Why would you do
out.
this? Like, this is just like straight terrorizing somebody. You're terrorizing someone in their own home.
Yes,
you're making them uncomfortable in their own home.
Yeah, yes, this is exactly what he was doing. And
did you tell them how long Daryl was in jail for?
Daryl was in jail for, he said 100 days. They released him on June 11th, so he was in there from March to June.
April, May, June, 100 days. Damn, I would been pissed. At least it wasn't 7 years. Guys, check out the last episode.
Wait, she wasn't in jail for 7 years, was she?
Simona?
Uh-huh.
Oh, 7 years. 7 months.
Okay, because I was like, wait, what?
The fuck? My bad. Listen in. Maybe it's 7 years. Who knows? 7 years, 7 months. Who knows? Yeah, 7 months.
I was like, what?
My bad, bro.
Daryl gets out June 11th, 2016. He goes back to the house with the cop and to get some of his stuff. And he can immediately see that Scott and Anita are not getting along.
They beefing.
And she's like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 whatever. Scott's like, Anita had your dogs euthanized.
He had cats.
Yeah, sorry. Anita had your cats euthanized. And apparently, Rob says that Scott was, his parents were abusive and his mom was a bitch and that, like, she would get him pets and then the next day take him to the shelter and have the pets euthanized.
That's monster mentality.
Right. So maybe, Scott's fucking, like, weird-ass childhood, drove him to be a complete bastard dickhead. But most of us like to transcend those things and not repeat them. Right? Or not fucking, like, turn into complete, total fucking wastes of human skin. Like, seriously, a burn victim can use the skin that is covering your body right now because you're being a horrible person. Anyway. So, yeah, the officer is like, yeah, good job not blowing up on them or whatever. And he's like, don't come back here without a police escort. And he's like, yeah, no, dude, you don't got to tell me. I ain't coming back here. So, meanwhile, Scott's, being crazy and doing stupid shit, letting his dog piss and shit all over the place, eating Anita's food, yelling at her, throwing things around the house. And she's like, I got to get him out of here. So she tells her, her son and his wife, I gotta get her out of here. They're like, well, go to the court and get an order, do something. So a fucking judge, a California judge, honestly,
some people need to do their jobs better or shouldn't have their jobs.
Like, what is wrong with you? So a judge orders that the dogs, the 2 little dogs that are pissing and shitting everywhere, it's not that they be removed from the house. And Scott has to stay 5 yards away from Anita while he's living in her house.
Doesn't sound right to me, man.
The judge says that he has not been violent with her. So there's no reason for him to have to be removed from the house.
Why do we have to wait this far? He's threatening me. He's
throwing shit all over my house and yelling
environment. At me. Like, he's aggressive.
But she doesn't have proof. Like, she doesn't have, bruises or whatever. So her son tells her,
you want him to beat my ass? Is that what it is?
Right. You want him to freaking, like, touch me? Is that what's happening here? So her son's like, well, get a recorder and start recording him.
To catch him doing something.
Yeah, see, so you can try to get him out.
Did you tell them that he was still in her vanilla extract?
Oh, no. Things were, still going missing. And yes, he was stealing her vanilla extract and drinking it because vanilla extract. Pure vanilla extract, not the imitation shit. Pure vanilla extract has like 10% alcohol.
So Gina is making vanilla extract. And I think she made it with vodka. And you have to infuse it for like months or whatever. And then...
Until it turns brown.
Yeah, vodka.
You can make vanilla flavored vodka the same way. You just have to but not for, it doesn't take months.
I didn't even know alcohol was in vanilla extract or vanilla, like real stuff. I had no idea until Gina was making it. And I was like, girl, what you doing?
What are you doing? Can I have some of that?
But you've got a real problem when you're still in someone's fucking vanilla.
Okay, I make cakes with that. What are you doing? It's vanilla. It's not vodka.
It's vanilla.
It's not tequila.
I think I'm going to make some cookies today.
Okay. Are you going to make those sourdough cookies?
Mm-hmm. I bought some butters.
So the day that Scott is going to be served with the warrant or the order to get his dogs the fuck out of the house was June 14th, 2016.
Okay.
She leaves, goes to work, and she's like, I'm going to, he's getting served today, so I'm going to stay gone as long as possible. So at 2 p.m., Scott gets served with his papers.
Because he's no longer working at Walgreens because he got fired because he's a loser.
Fucking job. Oh, and Anita, put a deadbolt on her bedroom door and started hoarding her stuff in the house, in the room. So there were pictures, she had fucking potatoes in there. She had utensils. She had, all the cleaning supplies, everything that Scott might have potentially disappeared from her house. Mm-hmm. She had it in her room. Her room was her own little panic room. So yeah, she, got to the point where I can't even have my own shit out in my own house. So I have to hide all my shit inside my room. And can you imagine having to have all your stuff in your room?
No.
Cause you're afraid your roommate is going to
eat your shit.
Eat all your food, or maybe even do something to you. And I was like, why does she need the cleaning supplies? Maybe she thought he was going to poison her. So she's gone, but when she comes back, she can't get into the garage. And the side doors are padlocked. She calls the police. And he gets in and he sees that the garage door opener has been disconnected. So he reconnects it and opens it, and she's like, hey, can you, go in there and tell him? Her mistake, I think, was not telling that police officer that he had just been served with papers that day. Mm-hmm. Because instead of saying, hey, I just served this guy with papers, this is probably why he did this, and,
he's crazy as fuck.
And yeah.
I feel threatened.
Right. Instead of that, she's like, can you go in there and tell him he can't do that to me? And the guy's like, that's a civil matter, ma'am. A crime has not been committed. Cop leaves. This is a sheriff's officer. He leaves. No, the sheriff served him. The cop opened her door. Mm-hmm. So, he leaves. She gets in the house, and he's immediately having a fit, yelling, screaming, throwing shit. And
you want to put my dogs out of the house?
Right.
It's not
you
funny.
Don't have to go anywhere, just your dogs. And literally, he could have done anything. He could have boarded them. He could have let a neighbor maybe keep them if he was, on good terms. He could have done something else. Nobody said, hey, drown your dogs in the lake.
But first of all, you're not paying rent. Get out. Take you and your dogs and go.
Right, but he didn't get kicked out, and they didn't she didn't file for an eviction. She filed for an order of protection. Not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
So she calls her daughter-in-law. Scott's yelling at me. He's doing these things and blah, 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 blah. And she's tells her husband, okay, you know what? We need to go over there. Something's going on. And he gets on the phone. He's like, well, you know what? You got your recorder. Bust out the recorder. So he says that they hear her pull out the recorder, and she turns it on, and the phone goes dead. Phone goes dead. They try to call. Phone goes dead. No answer. No answer. No answer. They get in the car. They're like, something's going on. And meanwhile, he's like, let's call and send the police over there to do a wellness check because she's not answering and we're just on the phone with her. Police show up. Oh, trigger warning. Obviously, we already talked about it, but this episode involves, you put it in the front. This episode involves elderly abuse and murder. and animal
Cruelty.
cruelty. So they go over there, the police go over there, and they find Miss Anita in the pool. Dead. They go in the house. There's dogs barking. They find Scott's fucking stupid ass naked sleeping on the bed. They get him up and they're like, hey, let's get you covered up, blah, 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 blah. An investigator goes over there and immediately Scott's like, where's Anita? I'm worried about Anita. I think Daryl probably did this. If I was there, I'd be like, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. So Daryl, he's like,
keep my wife's motherfucking name out of your motherfucking mouth.
So the officer's
I'm sorry. I hate to like break it on you, but are Will Smith and Jada Smith, are they still married?
I think they're still legally married, but I don't
they're
think
separated. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she made him look dumb online talking about, I don't know why he would have said that. We've been separated for 2 years or however long. I think they were separated since that August Alsina bullshit. So the investigator's like, well, who's Daryl? And he's like, Daryl was a roommate and he threatened us and he pushed Anita down and he was, blah, 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 blah. It was Daryl. And so the cop's like, okay, well, now there's this Daryl guy. We got to find Daryl. Who the fuck's Daryl? Meanwhile, Daryl sees in the newspaper that Anita is no longer
86th.
with us.
She's been 86.
She's no longer with us. And the headline said, what did it say? Elderly woman goes to court for restraining order and ends up dead or some shit like that. Or dogs get put out, ends up dead. Something weird. I was like, damn, that's a fucked up headline. Like, wow. So he sees it and he's like, oh shit, I'm probably a suspect. Because this happened 3 days after I got out of jail. Mm-hmm. I should probably go to the police station. Mm-hmm. So Daryl goes to the police station. He's like, hey, I'm Daryl. Hey, I'm Daryl.
Hey, I'm Daryl.
And he's like, I was in the hospital when this all happened. And he busts out his fucking receipts.
Got the receipts.
Literal receipts for his property and for his stay in the hospital. And they're like, good. Good job, Daryl.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Scott, you fucking bastard bozo.
You bastard.
So immediately they're like, okay, so yeah, it's Scott. It's fucking Scott. And yeah, we find out that, it was Scott. And of course he never gave a reason, but the cops are like, yeah, it was probably because, his dogs had to go. And his codependency on his dogs. And like, instead of being a rational person and be like, okay, I'll board my dog. Or yes, how about just get the fuck out?
Just get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Take your dogs and go.
My dogs can't stay. Okay, then I'll leave too. You are obviously good at schmoozing people into fucking letting you stay in their houses. I don't even know why I would wish him on anybody else. Go find a park bench.
Go find a park bench.
I mean, what they did to Daryl lost his job, lost the fucking, his place to live, fucked up his life.
Pretty much.
So where the fuck was Daryl living? Who knows? I think Daryl was like staying, park bench too. You can have that park bench over there. I'll be over here.
You take that one. I'll take this one.
So Anita had her digital recorder on the whole time. And they listened to it and they heard her bludgeoning by fucking Scott. And she's like, you bastard. She said that too. You bastard. Mm-hmm. You get away from me. Like, she was like, you're going to beat up an old lady? Yes, that's what he did.
He kept calling her a cunt.
Yeah, he's
asshole.
Yeah. The guy was unhinged. So they had the digital recorder. They knew that it was him. And so one of the investigators was talking to him in the interrogation room or the interview room. And he was like, I want my lawyer. And then she was like, oh, pity, because we have it all on, all on tape. And he was like, wait, what? And she was like, you asked for your lawyer. And he was like, what's on the tape? What's on the tape? So she was like, I re-Mirandized him. And I was like, yeah, we got it on tape. We heard everything. And then, of course, he asked for his lawyer again. And she was like, okay, cool. We're not doing any more interviews. There won't be any more of this. You asked for your lawyer, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he got sentenced. Oh, when she said, we got it on tape, there won't be any more of that, he said, or he asked for the death penalty. That was in 2019. When did we get rid of the death penalty? I feel like it was like 2018 or something. Like, you're an attorney. You should know this, right?
You're an attorney, aren't you? You stupid fuck. No, you're not an attorney. You're a liar.
So she was like, innocent people don't ask for the death penalty. So he went to jail. He got convicted. First-degree murder, elder abuse, and violating a protective order. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. And now he's in prison. Hopefully he'll never get out.
2019. That's when...
Yeah, he was convicted on August 29th, 2019. So it took 6 years. You have all the evidence.
It didn't take
3 years.
You know,
it takes trial.
It takes a minute to get things done.
3 years to go to trial. That was an open and shut case. They should have at least they should have immediately just go to trial. So yeah, he's in prison. Hopefully he's being emaciated in prison, drinking toilet wine or whatever his fucking drug of choice is in prison. Because you ain't getting no vanilla extract out in there. In there. So. Yeah. And that's the story of the most awful roommate ever, Scott Pettigrew.
So in 2019, when he was convicted, he was 53.
53. A 53-year-old man. So he was what? 49-ish when he committed a murder of an elderly woman. What a fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Monster. 25 years to life.
Peckerhead.
You say peckerhead?
Because my dog. Like, seriously? Seriously, now you can't have dogs either, stupid. Did you really think thought he was going to frame Daryl? Like, what the fuck?
Girl.
I don't understand. How do you even, like...
He's in Cochrane.
Fix your mouth to say he did it when... He hasn't been there in 3 days.
First of all, I was in jail 3 days prior to this. I came with the police to get my stuff, and I will never come here without the police. But how fucking dare you?
Exactly.
Like, first of all, they should have got his ass for perjury, too, for putting Daryl in jail. But he's currently in Cochrane. Yeah. So he's there until April 2033.
Yeah.
Oh, Corcoran. Did I say Cochrane?
Yeah.
Hello.
He's in Corcoran.
Corcoran. I didn't even know it was pronounced like that.
What?
Corcoran. I've never said that word in my life.
Yeah, he's in Corcoran.
What a piece of shite. Yeah, it's just like, I get it. Sometimes you need to have roommates in your home to survive.
She's elderly. She's on a fixed income, but she was working at Walgreens at least.
But they said the reason she needed roommates was because of the utilities. Like, she loved her home. She didn't want to leave her home, and that was the thing. She was really tied to her home because she earned it. She loved it.
She bought that house.
But living in the desert, like, is hot AF, so you need to run that AC.
And it gets cold as fuck, too.
Right.
In the wintertime.
Like, get solar. Like, I'm so happy that we got solar when we did. Like, we've paid nothing this summer. We've got a credit.
That's cool.
So does Mom. Mom has a credit, too.
And now the solar people are like, are you going to switch? Are you going to switch? Get out of here.
It's just annoying. Like, I was a salesman that came and knocked on our door, and it just happened to be the right time. And, we're not with Sunrun, some of these vendors who lock you into a 30-year contract. 30 years with Sunrun.
As long as your mortgage. But I'd be like, so we're not... Like, we're already 15 years in on our mortgage, and I got to pay 30 years for this. Like,
30 years. It's insane. We're not in a 30-year nothing. Like, we are going to own these. But the thing is, like, when you're buying a house and it has Sunrun solar, you have to get approved through Sunrun to be approved for their stuff. And then it'll just, like, carry on, it'll continue on in the process. But deals have been lost because people can't get approved with Sunrun. And it's like, this is your deadline. You got to get approved. Like with Tammy's house, she just signed up for Sunrun, a brand new 30-year contract. And our buyer,
they're not the only solar vendor. Why?
No,
why?
They're
why
just
would anybody want
super
that?
saturated because they think it's such a great deal because they hear, oh, my bill's only going to be $150 forever. That's just my bill all the time. It's just $150. I could deal with that.
$150 a month or a year?
A month, forever,
for
all the months. Well, when you're getting a $400
power bill
in the summertime, like that's the only time where it's like really beneficial. June, July, August, possibly, but all the other months, your bill's like $20-$30.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but some people think this is the best thing because they're like, oh, well, you're not paying for the solar panels. We're paying for the solar panels, but you're locked into us for 30 years because then they put like a, I don't want to call it a lien, but they're putting a lien on your home. It's stupid. Anyway, sorry. I'm just saying, hey, if you're in a area where it's hot, get solar. It helps out, but don't use Sunrun. Sunrun don't come for me.
You can literally, I mean, they don't like you to, but you can make your own solar and run your house on. You can go to.
Probably dangerous.
It's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
You can go to Harbor Freight and literally put you could do like a little solar farm in your backyard if you don't, if you have space for it or whatever. I'm not saying go on your roof and do that. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you could do like a little patch of solar.
You could collect solar. You can have a battery and then pull off that battery. I get it. It's just unfortunate that it had to happen this way. Again, like my listing that I'm going to on Sunday, she has roommates in the house. Like this was an elderly woman that there was a bad roommate in the house. Like apparently had all kinds of shit in the room. He's finally out, and now there's 2 more roommates. And then the girl I'm dealing with, she's like, oh, well, do we need to leave for the open house? And I was like, yes, please leave. And one roommate's like, well, I don't want to leave. I don't want people in and out. Like, I get it. I'm not going to let anyone go in your stuff.
Here's what.
But if you just want
this house is for sale.
If you want to just stay in your room and when people come in and open the door, just suck it up.
You know that this house is for sale. You can't live here forever.
Yeah.
Pack your shit.
You're giving me crazy
and
eyes.
make it so that this house can sell and go find another place to live.
Yeah, apparently one is moving out at the end of this month. I know, but people are weird. People are really weird. Like my last people in California City, I couldn't get them to get out of the house. We're always in the house. Like once that deal closed, guys, I think the last episode I was like, I'm ready to get this fucking shit done. Our episode in June. I was just like, it was sucking the life out of me, that deal. And I got so fucked on it. Like, and I say this because, so, I took out a advance on that listing, so I needed some money. I took out a listing. I took it out in advance.
Didn't you have to pay
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. I did that and I knew that money was coming out. I was expecting that. And then, yes, the bitch wanted to get some type of cleaning, but I think this is this agent's hustle. So she was like, oh, well, the cleaning, it's $3,400 to have it, remediation, smoke remediation, order, blah, 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 remediation, something like that. And she was like, oh, it's $3,400. Like, I'm going to put in 1% of my commission to cover it. And I just wanted the deal to be done. So I was like, fine, fuck it, which was $1,700. Right? Me, this is the first time I've ever given a credit to anybody. So I'm like, oh, 1%, okay, fine, of the entire transaction, right? My broker was like, no, bitch, that's not what we're doing here. We're going to get all of our money, and that $1,700 is coming out of your pocket, my pocket. So I got a check for like $400.
Oh, hell no.
$400.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
Ever again. But apparently that chick, the agent, she does this because another agent...
With this remediation shit?
With the $3,400 something. It's always some type of repair. Something. Because another agent out here, she does everything. She's the real estate queen. She was like,
the chick that shows her boobs on the billboard?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I know who that is. But she was like, hey, I saw you close the deal with this one. Like, how was it? And I was like, it was all right. We got it done.
It was awful.
Yeah, pretty much. And she was like, well, she's like trying to get us to pay all this
She's a
stuff.
Scammer.
And like, they're talking about $3,400 and this, and that. And I was like, girl, the same thing happened. They wanted to have this done. And, she decided to, throw in some of her commission. Because that's why I was like, I'm not signing the shit until I see you sign the shit. Remember, I was like, send it back and, this is how it has to be done.
I'd be like, you can have 0.25%.
But it's just to,
bitch,
to get like all these credits and these kickbacks for her clients or something. There's something going on. I'm not exactly sure what exactly it is, but she was definitely up to something. And the bitch don't respond to my text messages. Like
she's a scammer.
Yeah. So my client was like, hey, like we think some mail was sent there, and I was like, hey, can you check with your clients to see if any mail has been sent? They said XYZ was sent. No response. I sent her a text message. I was like, hello, you're not going to respond? No response.
You should say your clients are guilty of mail fraud.
That's what these people said, but I can't get involved. Like, I don't have the energy. And these aren't personal clients of mine. Like, I dealt with them because they were a referral. But I'm just, like, I'm not going to drive to their fucking house.
No. That's not your job.
Do you have some mail?
Did they not forward their mail?
They were, like, waiting to the last minute to do everything.
It takes, like, 2 weeks.
Exactly. So it's not my problem. I can't deal with it. But I don't remember what we were talking about. Yeah, they want to sell the house.
Well, we were talking about this lady needing money and getting roommates.
Yeah.
And she had one of the worst roommates who was not paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
And was eating all her food. And then ended up unaliving her, as they say on the socials.
Unaliving. He murdered her. And, like, it's terrible. Like, you're a grown-ass man, or he was 53 when it happened, so he might have been a 50-year-old man. It's terrible. And it's like you see these behaviors in these people, and then they're in your house, and there's nothing you can do. And the police totally failed her. Mm-hmm. They totally failed her. If that officer would have gone in the house with her, she might be alive today. Mm-hmm. If I were the family...
Sue the police department?
I'd be suing. Just saying.
Well, it's a civil matter. They can't, no law was... But it's like, dude, like... And, again, she didn't say he was just served with... Like, I just feel like there was so... Like, as soon as this happened, I would have been like, so I served this dude with papers today, and he's been threatening me. Mm-hmm. And I need you to come in the house with me because I'm afraid for my fucking life.
Yep.
Like... I would have been like, "You're coming in with me." Like
I would have had death grip on his arm.
Exactly.
Like no, but then did you mention that like Scott had glued her door shut?
Oh no, yeah.
So she couldn't get away from him.
Glued her door shut the day that he was served. Yeah, so that she couldn't get into her room.
Monster, fucking monster. I don't think 25 years is enough.
Well, it's 25 to life. He's not getting out.
He better not. Anything else?
If he gets out, he'll be what, 70 something? He's not getting out. And his liver's probably shot to shit, so he's probably not. No.
All right. Oh, okay. Sad story. You heard about that Olympian, the Ugandan woman who got burned and died from her ex? That motherfucker died. Yeah. That's what he gets.
Yeah. You set people on fire using like whatever accelerant you used. Was it gasoline? Probably not. You're gonna catch fire too, and that's how burn victims die, is from infections of the burn. It's not actually like the fire; it's the fucking infection.
Ugh, monsters. Watching anything new lately?
Other than KAOS?
Oh yeah. Did you want to talk? You did mention that. You said it's funny.
It's funny. Because I watch it right before I go to bed. Like I turn it on, and I'll try to watch like the episode, and then if like it keeps going, I'll just go to sleep. But like Jeff Goldblum, the way he walks in this show is so ridiculous.
He's like Zeus playing Jeff Goldblum. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's hilarious. And Prometheus, poor Prometheus.
He's funny. I don't think I've gotten past the second episode.
I started watching the fourth episode last night, but like I'm gonna have to rewatch the episodes 2 through when, however far I get, like, and really pay attention, because, like, by the time I turn it on, I'm like, I want to go
tired,
to sleep.
yeah.
But I just think it's funny. And freaking Dionysus. I like Dionysus. He's funny. I'm like, oh, look at you, Bacchus. So yeah, it's pretty amusing. So you didn't get to the part where they all have the same prophecy. That prophecy, the wrinkle.
I saw, like, after Persephone, like,
the line. It's a line. Yeah.
In the episode 2 when she's like, oh, I damned the gods. Maybe that's why I'm here. And then Dionysus is driving around. What's his name?
Orpheus.
Oh, you're Orpheus. I need to pay attention to it again. Like, the first episode, I'm good. I can pick up from the second episode and try and, like, figure out what's happening. But I haven't, like, really locked into it just yet. What else?
Okay, so you didn't, like, pay attention to Greek mythology in high school or anything, did you? Did you study? We did, like, Greek mythology in world history back in, like, 10th grade.
Okay.
But anyway, okay, so the characters are, of course, the gods, Hera, Zeus. You haven't seen, what's his face? The god of the sea.
Poseidon,
thank you. I'm like, Triton, King Triton. Mm-mm. Have you seen King Triton?
No.
You haven't seen Poseidon yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's that Maori guy. The guy that plays all kinds of other people.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think the casting on it's pretty decent.
Yeah, so the gods, and then so Dionysus, Eurydice, Orpheus, Ariadne, you haven't met her yet either, and Canis. So yeah, there's stories. I mean, of course, there's liberties taken because it's TV, but it's pretty fucking interesting.
You don't have to tell me about the show. Honestly, I'm gonna watch it.
I just think it's funny. But yeah, and that stupid fucking watch.
Oh, the watch that he took. I haven't even, like, it hasn't even. Did you guys notice my watch is missing?
Zeus is being Zeus. Like, Zeus, Zeus is a bad guy.
Yeah, he's, like, reaching out to all his kids. No one's responding to him, right?
Yeah, like, Zeus is always a bad guy. Like, even if you think he's a good guy, he's a fucking bad guy. Period. He's a bad dad. He's a bad person. Hera's a bitch. And he was like, oh yeah, our friend Hercules gave it to. I'm like, Hercules is your son, and Hera hates him.
She hates all of his bastards.
All of his half-human kids.
Yeah, anyone that's not hers, she's pissed.
Oh yeah, he it hasn't happened yet, I don't think, where it shows what she does to the moms.
Mm-mm. Okay. Nope, haven't seen it yet. All right, so you're into KAOS?
KAOS with a K. KAOS. KOAS. KAOS. KAOS, yes. And I have to go home and do some more reading and studying. I have to write up a discussion response.
You got this. It's only 10 weeks, right? Or 8 weeks?
It's 8 weeks. This is week 3.
All right.
I'm like, yes, next week I'll be halfway done. When on Sunday. Days counting. You know what I should do, but I'm not gonna.
You know what I should do, but I'm not gonna.
Because, like, you know how, like, you watch TV episodes, like, I watched The Serpent Queen. Mm-hmm. And that's 8 episodes, or is it 10? It's 8 or 10 episodes, I can't even remember, but it's really good.
I haven't watched that yet.
It's on Stars.
Excuse me.
It's part of the series that they've been doing on all the old, like, medieval and those queens, like the White Queen and the Spanish Queen. That was the Serpent Queen. Anyway, I should, like, do, you know how, like, weeks pass, like, oh, the new episode is out, the new episode, blah, 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 blah. I should do, like, a fitness journey based on, like, that, like, because I'm thinking all this time has gone by so quickly. I could have, like, worked out for this long or whatever, an hour a day, and then like see where I am from episode 1 to episode 8 or whatever, you know. But I don't. That's all. That's all. That's just thinking, oh, you know, you can watch your shows and correlate like your workouts, like, because it seems like it goes by so quick, and you're like, I could have been doing this like while you're watching the episode, doing a workout,
squats and like, the things,
So,
okay, cool.
That was all. Well, I could do that, but I'm not gonna.
You're funny. So thanks for asking me.
I was gonna ask, but now
Go ahead.
You're already jumping the gun.
Ask me.
What's happening? What's going on? What are you watching? Are you watching anything new? Blah, 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 blah.
I'm watching Outlast on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Season 2. So
Did you watch the first season?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I think the new episode actually comes on today. Like, the last 2 episodes are available today. Like, you know how they try and make you, like, they try and edge you and only let you watch, like, a couple episodes.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. And there's also, I haven't watched it yet, but there's a new season of The Circle.
I was about to say that. Your show,
That's
The Circle.
my actual shit. I really do enjoy The Circle.
Gracie likes that
But, I know, I got her into it.
She's like, can I watch The Circle? I don't care.
Sure, bitch. But Outlast, I've been watching that, and this season's been kind of interesting. I wonder who's gonna win, and
how many episodes are there for?
I think there's 8 episodes a season, like 8 or 9. That's
because Alone is like 22 episodes.
Because that's on the History Channel,
right?
I've been watching that too. I actually started watching $1 Million Listing.
I thought you already watched that.
No, I started watching $1 Million Listing a few weeks ago, and I started from season 1. Watching $1 Million Listing.
Wait,
there's 15
$1
seasons.
Million Listing.
Selling Sunset.
And there's $1 Million Listing New York.
There's $1 Million Listing New York. There's $1 Million Listing LA, of course. $1 Million Listing, I feel like even Miami or something. But $1 Million Listing started it all for all of these.
I watched
Selling Sunset, Buying Beverly Hills. And watching it, I see people that I recognize from other shows, like Jason from Selling Sunset was on an episode of $1 Million Listing. Mauricio was on it too.
Was he really?
Yeah. Some of his agents, the British guys, they worked for the agency, which is what Mauricio.
Is that what the name was? The Agency?
The Agency. It still is called The Agency.
That is being sued.
They're on it. I saw Farrah, Kyle's daughter, because she's an agent, like, whoever they're dealing with, they're going to record with. And they just kind of started off. I see how, like... I
remember watching, like, a couple of episodes, and, like, it was one where they were, like... Because it shows, like, the commission's, like, 1%, 2%, whatever. And I was like, I should get into real estate and sell $1 million houses. Then I was like... Fuck no.
Right. It's honestly, like, with that shit, it's all about who you know. It's all about your network. And, of course, with any business.
We're in this area, not that area.
Right. I would love to sell $1 million house. But then, like, you see lost commission. Like, they lose the listings. And, if Selling Sunset was on $1 Million Listing, you wouldn't see a lot of these characters. Because $1 Million Listing, they're closing and selling houses.
Is that not what they're doing on Selling Sunset?
Not all of them. Not all of the characters. We see everybody in the office. Like Amanza from Selling Sunset. They're a brokerage. We're just following Amanza. We're just with a Z.
Person's name?
With a Z. Yeah, her name's Amanza, and she's on Selling Sunset. And with Selling Sunset, it's one brokerage. With $1 Million Listing, there's multiple brokerages, and you're following agents. These couple, 3 agents who are doing a lot of business with lots of different agents. But Selling Sunset, it's they try
just that agency.
It's just that particular agency, the Oppenheim Group, and their drama and the things that are going on. Like, you see them showing houses and this and this and that and that, and it gives you the numbers, but you don't see the houses close very often. They do close. It just shows
like their lives instead of the actual the business of selling.
Exactly, because like I should have started with $1 Million Listing. That shit is work. But I've been watching that. Outlast. The last 2 episodes I'm gonna be watching those tonight. I'm gonna get into The Circle, the new Circle. But I don't think there's anything else new I've been watching since we spoke last time. other than that, hey guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Oh, this is a little long episode we got here. I think we were derailing a lot. But patrons, let us know what you guys want for us. We owe you guys something special for your support, and we love you guys so much. Brandi's birthday is coming up also, so maybe we will take her out and treat her real nice on her birthday. I don't know. Could be. Maybe.
Interesting.
Connect with us online if you aren't already on social, on all the things, on the threads, on the Instagram, on the X, on the Facebook, or on Patreon.
Did they come back?
I don't know. Deb will keep them talking next door. But anyway,
The children.
check us out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Hey, leave us a review. We haven't had a review in like 2 years. So, yeah, could you leave us a review? Thanks so much. We have some stickers. We have some stickers. I want to order more stickers. But, we'll get around to it. Other than that, I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Flakes.
And this was Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's Bold Bitches.